Hello, collective. Welcome and welcome back. Let's get into a reading for you guys. Throwback camera card view. Okay. And we're just going to see what the messages are and what you guys need to know. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Oh my gosh. My bad, y'all. It's weather happening right now when I'm filming this. And there's a camera that they're looking at and somebody just walked right in front of the camera. It's hilarious. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Okay, he didn't say nothing about it. That was funny though. Somebody just randomly strolled in front of the camera. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what messages you guys need to know. Be sure to use your intuition first and foremost. And go with what you know. All right. There's no need to bring anything into your life that does not belong. Let's get a message. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for the collective. When it comes to what they need to know at this time, what is the message for the collective? We have snooping, okay, drive-by, stalking, social media, psychic, tarot readings. We have unknown caller, stalking, hanging up, unknown numbers. And then we have reconciliation, harmony, resolving issues, getting back together. They kind of came out in the reverse, but I'm just going to leave it upright because it's easier to see it that way. And I don't feel like going through all that. Okay. All right. This could be somebody who you know, though, who is kind of like snooping, stalking. There's 2 cards that say stalking, calling you, leaving messages, or calling from unknown numbers, I guess. Childish, immature, argumentative, playing the victim. If you don't know who is playing on your phone, somebody could be playing on your phone. And you may not know who it is because the number may be a number you don't know, or it could be somebody calling from a random like phone number or something, right? But it's like you don't know who it is, but Spirit is saying you actually do know who it is. It's somebody who's being very childish and immature, and they're doing this because they're kind of like trying to be in your business, I guess. This may be somebody who wants to reconcile or work things out with you. But I kind of don't think that that's the case because the card came out in the reverse. So this could either be a situation where they want to reconcile with you, make things right, clear the air, work things out, resolve issues, but maybe you don't. Or it could be a situation where they just want to be a nuisance and they don't want to gain anything. They just want to mess with you and kind of like bother you because they're very childish. Okay. Yeah, and then we have toxic people, addictions, bad advice, wrong crowd, okay? Ugh. Ugh. What is this about? Okay. So what is this about? Why are these messages coming out for the collective, Spirit? What is this about? Let's move these out a little. Spread it out. Give me some space. Give me 50 feet. What is this about? Coffin. Yeah, something is over, on the verge of being over, on the verge of being done, or it's already done and someone's just not accepting it. Okay. 19 is the card, an ending of a cycle for a lot of you guys. The conclusion to a situation possibly. And also, somebody could be getting cut out of your life. And because the cycle is concluding, they know they're being cut out of your life, or they know that this is over. This back and forth, this game, this tit for tat, whatever it is that y'all have been kind of like boomeranging back and forth with each other about is coming to a close. I feel like this could be a hopeful situation for you, a positive situation for you, but maybe not so much for whoever else this person is. We have child here, card number 18. And then mature man, card number 5. So 18, 19, and 5. 19 is a 10, 18 is a 9. So definitely something is nearing its conclusion. The child card can talk about innocence. It can talk about immaturity, because we do have that referenced here, but it could also be innocence. It could be very creative energy as well, like a lot of ideas. Children are very innovative in their own ways. They're super creative. They play make believe, they play pretend, and a lot of times the magic of that can be a strong tool to manifest, right? So this could be a situation where a lot of you guys, because you're getting close to the conclusion of a situation, or because you're getting close to the end of a situation, your ideas are very ramped up. Okay, you're running wild with ideas. You're excited about what's to come. It's kind of like when you're getting ready to take a trip to somewhere you've never been. You start imagining all the fun things that you're going to be able to do and how great it's going to be and how much fun you're going to have. And that's the energy that I'm feeling from this situation, or that's why this is happening. Is because you're getting excited about the next chapter. And you also have, with this mature man, this globe on the card, which indicates travel. Okay, we'll just say it indicates travel. It could indicate like being very well traveled, but it can also coincide with you getting ready to go on a new adventure and being excited to see new things, do new things, experience new things, learn new things, right? Some of you guys could definitely have an older masculine who may be on the verge of passing away. For some of you, I don't think this is something that you would not know. I feel like this is something that you would be aware of, or it's kind of like coming into the forefront of your awareness now. This could be your grandfather for some of you guys. This could even be talking about like an older masculine who passed away when you were young as a child, who could be helping to guide you right now, or someone who maybe passed away before you were born, who's helping to guide you, or who has helped guide you ever since childhood. Okay. So take it how it resonates. It feels like the reason why someone is kind of like lurking or looking into what's going on with you is because they know that this is a time in your life where you're about to experience a new chapter and there's conclusions happening, and they may want to provide you some type of support, hope, faith, reassurance, especially if this is like a passed on loved one or someone who you kind of like don't know is there, but is actually there. That's the energy that it gives. It's like someone who's kind of ghostly, who's there, but you don't necessarily know that they're there. You don't necessarily have proof that they're there, but you can feel them watching. You can feel them kind of like around. Okay. Just passing through to kind of see what's going on. Okay. This could also be for some of you guys. You have this masculine guardian of some kind who wants to help you recognize or reconcile something, right? So they may be trying to help you recognize an issue that you're having, or recognize the reason for a problem that you could be experiencing, or they may even be trying to help you recognize that a chapter of your life is closing out and a new one is about to begin. To help bring peace, bring harmony, something like that. If any of you guys experienced the passing of a child, which my condolences in any passing that you may have experienced, this could also be an older gentleman like your father, or grandfather, great-grandfather, one of your older masculine ancestors coming to help your child transition and reconcile with like leaving this earth. I know that may be very sensitive for some of you guys, so I don't mean to like be inconsiderate of that, but that could definitely be what that is. Right? That took a turn. So if there's a person who's being very childish towards you because they're upset with you moving on with your life, they're like the least of your concerns right now, right? There's things that are way more important. Okay, what else when it comes to why this reading is coming up? Proposal reversed and false mask reversed. Fast movement and self-employment. So this could be about a business for some of you guys if you own your own business or you are an entrepreneur. This could be about moving too quickly or things speeding up. Somebody may want you to quickly accept some type of proposition or proposal or an offer. They could be giving you a time frame as to how long you have to consider or accept an offer. I feel like Spirit is basically letting you know that if somebody wants you to rush into something really quickly, or if they're presenting you with an opportunity that you have to move really fast on, especially when it comes to like your business, owning your own business, or being self-sufficient, this could be a red flag because this person wants you to rush to make a decision. And if it's like if you turn down their proposal or you turn down their offer, you're going to see this mask kind of fall away when it comes to this situation or whoever this person is. That could be what this is about as well. Like if someone made an offer to you, whether it was platonic, romantic, or professional, and they wanted to rush you or make you feel like you were going to miss out on an opportunity, I feel like you could be seeing now that whatever that offer is or whatever that offer was not true. Okay? Like it wasn't trustworthy. It wasn't true. It wasn't authentic. Or the person who was making the offer was a little bit toxic, okay? Because remember, we have this toxic people card with the addictions, bad advice, wrong crowd, and then childish with immature, argumentative, and playing the victim. Okay, so let's see. Let us see. We're just going to use this regular deck because, let's see. So Spirit, what is it that you want to tell the collective? Like, what is it that the collective needs to know in regards to these oracle cards? Like somebody may also, just with the difference in age of the mature man and the child, somebody may also see you as being very naive. Like you could be very innocent or appear very innocent, young at heart. You may appear as if like you're somebody who doesn't know what's going on, but you do know what's going on. Okay. So let's see. What is the message, Spirit, for the collective in this situation? Okay. Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Libra energy, possibly Gemini or Aquarius. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles, which could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, but it's reversed. So I read it as if it could be also Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But there's strong Libra out here with this Four of Swords and the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is either someone who's moving so slow to the point where it's like there's no movement at all, or it's a person who doesn't think before they act. They're very reckless, possibly even inconsiderate, and they're kind of like rushing. And to me, with the Knight of Swords, it feels kind of like somebody could be rushing you, or they could just be rushing or trying to get you to make a quick decision. Let's see. The Nine of Swords is at the bottom. Wow. And then what is this? The Eight of Cups and the Judgment card. It seems like somebody's afraid of you walking away from an opportunity or rejecting an opportunity, turning something down, rejecting them. Some of you could be a little nervous as well about going into the unknown of a situation. Just say you're starting a business or you are getting into entrepreneurship, right? it's very unclear at this point as to where you're going to end up, where this path will lead you, and how it will turn out. And that could be something that's very nerve-wracking or that gives you a lot of anxiety, which I feel could be making you hesitate when it comes to doing something that you want to do along those lines, right? But what Spirit is trying to say with this Judgment card and with the Four of Swords is that a lot of you guys are being called to take that challenge or to face those fears, because in the future you may feel like you missed out if you don't take the risk, right? Of course, we don't want to take stupid risks, but it's like Spirit is trying to wake you up to see what's on the other side of this fear, what's on the other side of maybe the rat race or the corporate ladder. Like they want you to see what's on the other side of your current reality and what could be possible in the future if you are willing to kind of like overcome your fears and be very brave. Okay. If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. Whatever that idea is that you have, whatever that creative endeavor is that you've been thinking about, or whatever you wanted to do that you're feeling very passionate about, Spirit is like, hey, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and you're going to feel like you never got a chance to express yourself, or you never got a chance to let that part of yourself breathe, right? You're going to feel like you missed out on something, or shoulda, coulda, wouldas could come back to haunt you when it comes down to you being on your deathbed, right? And I'm not trying to be funny, but it was the Four of Swords and the Coffin card. That's just kind of what it gives. It's also giving like Spirit wants you to avoid stagnancy as well, because it's like if you're not doing anything, it's just the same as if you were moving backwards. Let me say that again. If you're not doing anything, it's just the same as if you were moving backwards. Okay, what's the Knight of Pentacles reversed? Okay, the Tower card. Hold on, my bad, y'all. What else is the Knight of Pentacles reversed? The Six of Wands. Ooh. So your attention is on some type of tower. I just heard diversion. I don't know if it's a diversion or not, but there could be something very shocking happening right now. This could be an argument. If somebody is around you being very argumentative. For some of y'all, this could be a breakup, but it could also be weather situations with the tower. It could be the change of a boss or company switching over leadership or power to another entity. Somebody could be like, maybe you work for a company and the CEO is retiring and now a new CEO is going to come in, or you work for a company and maybe instead of, operating as an independent entity, they're going to merge and be swallowed up by a larger entity, right? The rules could be changing. There's something going on here where there's a shift in power that is catching your attention and making you feel possibly that now is the time for you to strike. Or now's the time where you need to make a decision about fight or flight. Like, are you going to be the person who takes a leap of faith, or are you going to be the person who gets pushed? And that's what the Tower is about. We also have the Hangman here. So there could be a contract that you have, maybe that's being suspended. Maybe you're on hold when it comes to whether or not a contract is going to be renewed. This is Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy, with the Chariot being Cancer, the Hangman being Pisces, and the Tower being Scorpio. Okay. But you're kind of in limbo here with the Hangman, or in a kind of purgatory, stationary holding pattern of what to do. Like, you can't really move, you can't really do anything, or that's how you feel. Some of you guys may need to gain a different perspective. Instead of focusing on the negative, focus on the positive. Instead of looking at the cons, try to look at the pros. Like, this is something that your spirit team is trying to get you to do so that you can understand and see clearly where you're being led with the Chariot card. Where is your spirit team trying to lead you? Some of you guys could be relocating, possibly city, state, or zip code for a job. You could maybe even be in a position where you are being promoted to a higher position and you kind of have to learn things as you go, and it could be very overwhelming. But a lot of you guys, what this to me means with the fast movement card being out here as well at the bottom of this deck, it's like something is going from moving really slow or not moving at all to like moving really quickly and fast. Okay. I feel like you've been waiting to get someone's attention or waiting for someone to get your attention. I don't know. Like maybe you've been waiting for a particular like style or person to come along because they're what fits, right? Somebody could have also been looking for someone like you because you're the perfect fit. It's like wherever there was stagnancy or a stuck energy where nothing was really moving forward, you kind of had your hands tied behind your back. Now there's some type of recognition with the Six of Wands, victory, success, overcoming of an obstacle that like creates this boom, this tower moment, which blows whatever the challenge was out of the way to allow you to move forward. My Lord. Okay. What is the Knight of Swords, Spirit? Okay, the Five of Cups reversed and the Eight of Pentacles. So something is turning around when it comes to your work. Whatever you're working on building, the goal that you have, whatever you've been striving to do, whatever you've been kind of like ritualistically participating in. And I don't mean anything like spell work. What I mean is the work that you get up and do every day. Like you wake up every day, you have a schedule, you have a routine. This is what you do. It's a part of your life. You've incorporated it into your life and it plays a major role in you reaching a goal. That is looking up. Like you're starting to enjoy your work again. For some of you guys, you're starting to allow yourself to speak more freely, be more opinionated, kind of say what's on your mind and say it with your chest. Okay. That's what's going on with the Knight of Swords and this Eight of Pentacles and Five of Cups reversed. You could have definitely been in a kind of a slump or maybe even a brain fog, a mental fog, or some kind of like creative block that you felt like was going on. But now you're seeing the silver lining of the situation. You're seeing more hope in the situation and it's refueling you. It's re-energizing you to work on whatever this is. Okay. And to continue to strive towards accomplishing and reaching your goal. Okay. You could even be getting out of some type of sadness or depression that you were in before, and you're seeing that it's still possible for you to reach your goal. You may have felt like something was a lost cause or a situation was a lost cause, but now it's like there's this renewed sense of vigor, this renewed enthusiasm for whatever it is, to where you no longer feel like it's a lost cause, or you don't feel like it's a dead end, or you know that you won't be successful. Something could be exploding or like blowing up, but it wasn't moving at all. Like it's something, I feel this energy where something was either extremely stagnant to where it was like nothing was happening at all, or something was so stagnant that it was actually moving backwards or regressing. It's like instead of making progress or being neutral, you weren't just neutral, you were actually regressing. Something was getting worse and worse and worse, or something was dwindling less and less and less. Maybe this is even your savings. Like for some of you guys, you may have been in a position where maybe you had a certain amount of savings and you decided to leave your corporate job to start this business, and your savings was starting to get lower and lower and lower, which basically means like you weren't spending any money, but you also didn't have enough money coming in. So it's like the savings that you did put to the side was just disintegrating more quickly. And then all of a sudden it's like something blows up, or you get attention on something, or you change the way you do something to where it allows for that increase to start being gained again, or it allows for business to come in or jobs to come in so that the savings that you have can be replenished. Okay, reinforced. That's what it feels like to me. Something goes from being super slow, not moving at all, and even possibly moving negatively backwards to moving really quickly. Because I think that's where I think that's where the Nine of Swords energy and that Five of Cups energy comes in, because you were feeling really anxious about like whether or not you were going to find a job or gain some type of like work coming in. But I feel like you went into an unknown situation. Like, we're taking this literally, but you could have gone into the unknown. It says unknown caller, unknown numbers. Okay. Like, hanging up in reverse would be like picking up in the reverse. It says hanging up in the upright, but if we reverse the card as if it came out, it would be like picking up. Somebody in versus hanging up the phone, they're picking up the phone, or something slowing down versus picking up, something was just not coming together or coming back together. What do they say? For every something, there's a comeback. I can't remember the saying. For every downfall, there's a comeback, or there's always like a boomerang. You know those little things? I can't remember what they're called, but they have the strings and then there's a metal ball at the end of the strings. And then you pull one this way and it bop, bop, bop. And then they bounce back and forth. That's what I'm seeing in my head. And I feel like what it was with that Hangman too was, for a long time, you guys were in this position of like, you pulled it and it bopped, but the reverberation took so long for it to bop back. And now it's kind of bouncing back. We have the Queen of Wands and the Four of Wands. So, I feel that you're about to accomplish a goal. I think you guys are really determined to, I guess, say what you need to say or speak on things. You're really confident about what it is that you're doing, whether people understand it or not, whether people agree with it or not. With the Queen of Wands, you're not following trends. You really don't care about the trends or what people say is like popular, how people think you should do things. It's like you're trying to combat a challenge or a situation in your own way. And it's from a positive, confident perspective, right? Some of you guys can have fire in your chart. Strong Aries energy, possibly also Leo. But it's like you're accomplishing these goals. And there's either a situation that you didn't expect to start moving so quickly, and it is, or there's a situation where, because you're in this mentality, there could be someone here who's trying to completely halt your progress, or like maybe even cause you to regress backwards and lose ground when it comes to what you've done. Okay. You're confident that there's still hope, and all you have to do is just continue working and continue being consistent when it comes to accomplishing your goal. And I feel like that's the determined energy that you have. But I feel like because someone knows that you're doing this, they could be trying to combat your determination with like negativity. So just be aware of that. I don't think you actually have to pay attention to it, because I don't think it's actually like that important, but I feel like the energy is there. So Spirit wants you to just be aware of it in case those little sneaky, energies come in and try to psych you out. What's the Four of Swords? Oh, look at that. The Magician reversed and the Eight of Wands reversed. The Six of Swords and the Sun card. That's Leo energy. Possibly Gemini, Sagittarius, Aries, Libra. Okay. So this is, the Magician reversed is either being very manipulative when it comes to the action that you take, and kind of like being blatantly manipulative, but also could possibly even be like somebody feeling powerless, somebody feeling very negative or pessimistic, or someone basically not taking any action at all because they feel powerless to be able to change the circumstances of a situation. Then the Eight of Wands is in reverse, which could mean forward movement has been halted, progress has been halted, or there's no communication. Possibly that message again about regressing backwards, even if you feel like things, it's like it's bad enough if things were stagnant, but it's even worse if they're just regressing and moving backwards. And that could be what somebody is working to do, is like to cause you to take a step backwards instead of forwards. But let's see. I really feel like this is a lack of communication as well, or being very silent. Maybe you could also be in a position where you're moving in a particular direction, but you're not communicating where you're going or what you're doing. Maybe some of you moved or relocated because the Six of Swords is here, but someone doesn't know where you moved or relocated to. Therefore, they cannot send you negative vibes, because this kind of feels like someone who wants to send you negative vibes through communication. This could either be text messages, phone numbers. That could be why this card was in reverse, because if somebody can't call you, they can't send you negative vibes. And if they don't have your phone number, they can't call you, right? So it kind of feels like somebody doesn't have your address. They don't have your phone number. They don't have a way to communicate with you. You block them on social media. They cannot send you subliminals. They can't send you astral projections of negativity. They can't text your phone with bullshit. Like, it feels like that's what this is about. This could also be the fact that maybe somebody who was a bad influence on you when you were a child, or who was a predator towards you when you were a child, has died. This could also be a situation where you're not getting communication from someone like through your dreams anymore. So it's like you're much more positive or happy. There's something that's blocking the communication or blocking the forward progress of a person who was taking action or doing something to move things in a particular direction. And that's no longer taking place because there's no longer an open line of communication, either energetically or physically. But I feel like that allows for some type of healing to take place, and that allows for you to finally like let go of the baggage that you've been holding on to because of the situation, for you to finally reach a place that's calmer and smoother and more peaceful, less chaotic, right? Your spirit team is guiding you to a calmer, peaceful, more smooth, less chaotic place. I also just saw the freaking Sims. And there's an interaction when somebody does something hurtful to another person where you can do a smooth apology. Like if you're very charismatic, or if your sim has a high charisma skill, instead of just apologizing outright, they can do a smooth apology, which utilizes their charisma and their ability to kind of like persuade the other sim that they're talking to accept their apology. So this could be kind of like what was going on with you and a person. There could have been a lot of yes, ma'am. Good Lord. There could have been a lot of like arguments or chaos or fighting between you and someone else, or somebody could have always tried to offer their advice and it was bad advice, right? And it's just kind of like whatever tactic that someone was using to try and keep you in a certain headspace or keep you in a certain mentality, they no longer have the power to do that, either because they don't know where you are, they can't contact you, you've overcome whatever challenge caused you to be susceptible to this person, or just the motherfucker died, okay? And I feel like a lot of you guys have stopped telling people what your moves are. You're not communicating it. You're just doing it on your own. Or you've kind of like stopped initiating something. Or you've changed. It's like you kind of change directions. It feels like there's a change in direction. And I think that's helping you to see more clearly what was causing you to be stressed out or something like that, which is allowing you to heal it. I feel like someone said something to you that made you second guess yourself, question yourself, or made you hesitate. That's what I feel like this is. And it made you afraid to go into that unknown darkness. It made you afraid to take a leap of faith. It made you afraid to bet on yourself. It made you afraid to step out on faith or to step out into the world, into the light, for people to see you. Like whatever this is that you've been wanting to pursue, but you've been too afraid to pursue, or whatever you've been wanting to go after that you've been too afraid to go after, that fear stems from a person telling you something or grooming you in a way where you felt afraid to do something on your own, or you felt like you couldn't do it by yourself. You know, like sometimes how people are like, oh, don't go over there if I'm not with you. Don't go over there if I'm not with you. I gotta, you know, because I'm going to protect you. I'm going to make sure you're good. You don't have to worry about anything as long as I'm here. Right? But that also can be like a crutch or something that debilitates us, because we subconsciously and psychologically think that, oh, if that person is not there, I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. And newsflash, judgment card that we saw in the beginning, go run it back. Newsflash, spirit is basically saying that that's not true. And it's allowing you to see that the reason why you were afraid to do something, or the reason why you were afraid to say something, or the cause of your anxiety and fear came from that mentality. And it's like, no, you can do it by yourself. Even if it was malicious, where somebody was like, oh, you'll never be nothing without me. You'll never be able to survive without me. And it's kind of like, but you're surviving though. And that's what spirit is trying to tell you. Like, yeah, you're surviving. You might not even be just surviving. You might be thriving without this person. You may be way better off without like focusing on the things that you were focusing on when they were around. And I feel like something is going to move really quickly because you reject a person's offer, or you basically decide that you don't need whatever they're offering, and you just continue to move forward on your own. And then that shows you the false mask that you had on yourself. Like it allows the false mask of inferiority and insecurity to fall off of you. It also allows the false mask of like control and ownership and possession to fall off of that other person. And it allows you to see clearly where you were deceiving yourself, either when it comes to your own abilities or when it comes to the abilities of another person. And I feel like whoever this is now is all up in your motherfucking business, because they know that you're not going to come back. They know that there's a disharmonious or incongruent connection between the two of you. Like y'all are not matching up, and they're aware that this is creating the ending of this cycle. Okay, like you don't need them anymore. Like some of you guys, I don't know how old you are, but some of you guys could be in a position where, you know, you may have parents who wanted you to always be in that childlike mentality. They never wanted to let you grow up. They never wanted to treat you like an adult. And they're like, now it's like, okay, I moved to a different city, state, zip code now. You can't control me. Oh my God, I just bent my card. Even though you're my parent. Oh my God. This is the card I just bent because it almost fell on the ground. I was trying to catch it. And my big thunder thighs bent it, as always. But anyway, that parent got to let you go, right? This could be an ex-husband, ex-wife, baby mama, baby daddy. That person has to let you go because they cannot govern nor dictate your life anymore. Now, the card that I just bent with my thunder thighs says, you must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. You must forgive them if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. This is the thing. You don't have to forgive nobody, but it's going to help you more to forgive the people who you felt have done you wrong or created some type of problem for you, right? Because if you hold on to what they've done, or if you don't forgive them because you feel like they don't deserve forgiveness, you're going to continue to have those nightmares, and they're going to continue to replay. Okay. I feel like the further and further you get away from someone, the less and less they're able to manipulate you, control you, or send you negative vibes. I feel like a lot of you guys are sleeping better. Okay. And it's simply because you're not doing what this person told you to do. You're doing something your own way, and it's working out better for you because you're doing it your own way. This could even be people online who give you like recommendations of how to run your business or how to create growth in your business or how to do this or that. It's like you're rejecting someone's offer, you're rejecting someone's advice because you know it's not good advice. I think that's what this is. You were taking someone's advice and they were giving you bad fucking advice, or you were listening to someone who you thought you could trust or who you thought was knowledgeable and they were really a dumbass bitch. They really did not know what the fuck they were talking about, or they could have been a beautiful person who understood how to do things from their perspective, but just because it worked for them doesn't mean it was going to work for you, and you had to learn how to be independent and do it on your own. And that's okay. It doesn't make that other person horrible or bad. Some of you were dealing with a really raggedy person, right? But a lot of you were just in situations where you had to trust your own judgment. You had to trust your own ideas. You had to trust your own creativity and do it the way that you felt you should do it. And I think the way that you're able to see that more easily is by doing what feels comfortable to you while also challenging yourself, right? At the bottom, we have find ways to lighten up and not take everything so seriously, okay? And then finally, let your feelings out. All of them, even the ones that scare you. All right, you guys. So I hope that helped you, collective. Be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. I'm running a special right now with personal readings. I just added a new reading to my catalog where you can get your divine angel advice from the angels to see what they have to tell you. If you want to check out that reading or use a discount code, you can get 5% off. The first 10 people get 5% off when they book that reading. Also, I have a new career reading. So that career reading is going to be basically like us diving into your career and finances and answering the question that you have about that. And if you want to get 10% off of the career reading, use the code in the description box below, and you guys can be one of the first 10 people to get a discount on that reading. Okay. So those are the two different options. We have two different codes. It's first come, first serve. So the first 10 people who utilize that code will be able to get a discount, but feel free to browse my other content and browse my website to see if there's any readings that you guys would like. I hope to see you there, and I really appreciate you guys. If you want to donate or contribute, please be sure to use the PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it resonated, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.